Welcome to the studio. I'm Eric C. Jackson. I am testing out the YouTube channel now for streaming live. And normally we would be on Twitch, but we're switching everything to YouTube now. And I think that'll be a better place to have all of my content in the videos that we like to share with you guys. Alright, so everything looks good. Okay, so as far as the title, we're going to be talking about the Whitewall app integration into Shopify. And this is something that I went over in February, like late February, mid-February. And let me show you guys. I think I have the email here, the initial email that I got from Whitewall, which is the photo lab. Yeah, so I got this on February 19th of this year, and they were telling me about all of the, just everything that they have to offer. Gallery quality prints, the product variety, the automated process. Let me go ahead and move my screen over. Hold on. Okay. All right, that's better. So this is what we've got here. Oh, I messed up the text. But it's basically, once they sent me the initial email, I let them know that I was having trouble actually getting this to work. I was having trouble getting this to work. So the whole idea is to upload your photography or whatever your artwork is onto Whitewall, link your Whitewall account to Shopify, and then when orders come in, you don't manually have to fulfill the order yourself. The orders would go straight to the photo lab. They would obviously get the order, have the invoice, fulfill the order, ship it out, and you don't have to do anything manually. Everything is automated. And so I had my current website now is with Photodeck, and let me bring that one up. So this is Photodeck. It's a different web host than Shopify, but it also has the Whitewall integration. The only issue that I've had with this is the presentation is not very good. I've done quite a few things to make it better, especially on the homepage, but just the presentation is a little bit off. Now the gallery section is fine. I was able to make a lot of corrections or adjustments on here with the template to make it look as well as I can. And then when you go to the print page itself, this is fine. Again, I made some adjustments on here as far as customizing the template. The real issue is when you go into the product item screen or the page. It's very scattered. Like you have these empty spaces here. The purchase buttons are all the way up here. They're not really in a good place. The presentation is just off. And then the only thing I can do is put a small, there's a small JPEG representation of the work here. Other than that, it's just plain. It's plain. I can't enlarge, or I never figured out how to enlarge the image. If I click on the image, it'll go back to the main screen. And then the product selection, as far as the pricing goes, like the pricing doesn't show up on this page. You have to go into the product selection and then have everything come up. Now, this part is really good for Photo Deck, where you can have 14 different products on here. So that part's fine. But again, the presentation is just not great. I would prefer like the product selection. I would prefer that to be on the main page, but it's not there. And I haven't been able to. I don't think that option is available to move that pop-up screen to the actual product page. So, yes, I do have the Whitewall integration on Photo Deck with this web host, but again, like I said, the presentation is just not great. So today I went back to Shopify. I reopened the store and I tested the Whitewall app. And let's see if I can go to the products page. Okay. So these are the two products that I created a couple of months ago, which I couldn't get them to work quite right. And then this one, Clarify, which I added to the current website. I added it yesterday or the day before. That looks like it looks the way it's supposed to. Okay, so this is Shopify. I'm going to go to the Shopify website for the studio. So again, this is the home page. As you can see, it's just without me scrolling, it's kind of night and day, because here's the home page for Photo Deck. And it's not bad. It's just the quality is not as good, right? My approach to the presentation is the same. Quality is not as good. So going back to Shopify, I like how you move the cursor over the navigation bar, that it lightens up, or the background goes to white. You move the cursor down, it goes back to clear. So I just like that effect that I don't have on the other site. The banner up here at the top is really good. And then you scroll down and there's just a lot more that I can do on here in terms of presentation. And then here's my footer, which looks a lot better compared to this website. The only thing I would add is probably the logo down here on Shopify. But just, again, the overall presentation is good. And that's simply because I paid over $300 for this premium template for Shopify. So I was really picky about how it was going to look and wanted to make sure that, again, the presentation looks good. So now I go into the gallery. Again, the setup is about the same as what I have right now, but it's just polished. It's a more polished look to it. So we're going to go to Series Clarity, and here is the image that I just added like a couple hours ago, actually. So there's a few things. When you initially add this on through the Whitewall app, you're going to have all these extra images, because what it's doing is it's going by the image size. So for every image size, it's going to have a different image under the main image to let customers, potential clients know how large the image is going to be compared to the size of the room that you're in. So there's that. That's not really a bad thing, but for the template that I'm using, it's not really good because it's just a lot of scrolling, right? But the thing that they did, well, actually, this is not the part that they fixed, but I did put in two different items, which is the Fuji Crystal DP paper, and then I also put in the acrylic glass, the matte acrylic glass. So again, every time you change the size for that particular product, that's going to change, right? But for me, I don't need all of that. But that's going to be the foundation of what you get when you add something on. So I'm going to tell you on Whitewall side what they did, and I finally figured it out like an hour ago. On their website, you have to come to the website, Whitewall's website, log into your account, and let me see if I can expand this correctly without messing up something. Okay, this is what they added. The Shopify product management. That was not there a couple of months ago. What I was doing before is adding everything to my configurations, which is basically just for Whitewall. It doesn't have anything to do really with Shopify. I couldn't get it to connect to my Shopify account. So when I tried to pull the images from Whitewall and bring them into Shopify, it just wasn't connected or in sync at all. So today when I came here onto my account, my Whitewall account, they had the Shopify product management page, and all of this is new to me. So you would go ahead and you would add your images here, and then you would create your products here. And then when you go to Shopify, these products are going to pop up that you created here, and you'll be able to add whatever print or whatever photograph that you want. So on that end, that's what I have here, right? So let me see if I can go through this without blocking everything, so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna make my image smaller. Give me a little bit more space. Okay, so up here, add product, and again, I'm at the Shopify. Once you log into your Shopify account, you're gonna go ahead and add Whitewall as the app. So you would click that. And then obviously I'm going to products. And the products that you already have are going to pop up. Now, if you want to add something new, again, you're going to upload the full print images over here, right? And make sure that you're under Shopify product management so that they'll stay here. Because if you come to My Photos, like this is My Photos. If you upload your print files under My Photos, I think Whitewall is going to hold them for 90 days, and then after 90 days they automatically delete. So you don't want to have to re-upload all your photographs or whatever your artwork medium is. You don't want to have to upload your files every 90 days. So make sure that you're not there, you're not on My Configurations. Make sure that you're here on this tab. Okay. So there's that. But anyway, so you upload there, and once you come back to Shopify, it'll pop up. So you just go to select image. And this is where I was getting stuck before, where when I pulled up my image, it wasn't picking up anything from Whitewall at all, but this time it is. So now I will select red sky. So there's my image. This is the full print file. Let me see if I put this over here. Yeah, I did. Okay. So you select the image and then you click on next. And then of course you go name, description. At this point, I'm going to be taking all the information from here, from my current website, and adding it to Shopify. So let me see if I can copy paste this over because I'm lazy right now. I don't know if I can. There we go. Okay, so there's my description. Nothing too crazy. And then go next. Now, when you get to add configuration, this is whatever product you're going to bring up. Now, you see the name over here. It says by Whitewall. These 3 products are already set or uploaded into Shopify. So if these are the only 3 products you want to use, that means that you don't have to come over here and create them. You know, they're already over there, a part of the Whitewall app in Shopify. So I did create another one of these, but I've just figured out I didn't need it. So yeah, this is what I created on my own, right? But it's already here, so this is the one that I used. But this one here, the matte acrylic glass, I created that one in Whitewall. So I believe it's that one. Yes, the first one, the matte acrylic glass. So when you go to your Shopify account, it should show up here. Just make sure that you're looking at the titles of all of your products. So if you want to make that, that's what you want to click on. So just select the product. And once you do that, there's the name of it. And then the next thing you want to go to is configuration or configure sizes and prices, that one. And this is where you set not only all of your prices, but how much it's going to cost. So what we went over, I guess a month or so ago, is how you determine what percentage you're going to use to mark up your products. It's the same thing with this app in Shopify. So you just decide on the markup. What I would do is turn this off because it annoys me. Deactivate psychological pricing. It annoys me. So I would turn that off or uncheck that box. And then you come over here and you just decide which percentage. You can actually type this in into your own percentage, or you can click one of these that's over here. It goes all the way up to 400%. It just depends on what the price is going to be. So 50% markup is the default. For me, I don't want to sell the 6x4s, so I'll turn that off. And then my print file is actually a 60x40 inch, so I'm going to turn off the 66x44 inch. So that's what I'm turning off. The largest one and the very smallest one. So I'm going between 8x12 to 60x40. So once you have the markup, this is what your selling price is going to be. And then it tells you what your profit is going to be. You can come back in and edit your percentage if you want to take bring your prices up or down. So that part is good. So yeah, If you want to edit something, you would just press configure sizes and prices again, change it to something else, and then save. So you can do that as many times as you need to. So in that regard, it's easier than the photo deck site, because in the photo deck site, you have to reset everything and input all the sizes over again. So it's just, it's time consuming. So yeah, just go ahead and save that. Okay, so if you want to add a different product, you just come here. There's the add configuration. So this is all the same product, right? Add configuration if you want to add a different product. So click on that. And for me, I'm going to add on the matte acrylic glass. And it's the same deal. You go to configure sizes and prices, and it'll bring up this menu. Now, in terms of the format, well, I should say the ratio of the print, the app is going to automatically read your print file. So if it's a landscape, if it's portrait, if it's square, it looks to me like it's going to automatically read what the correct ratio is, and give you those sizes as options to have on the website. So again, I'm going to turn off the 6x4 and the 66x44. Turn off the psychological pricing. And go from there. Now, when you turn off the psychological pricing, make sure you enter in the markup value after that, because the psychological pricing, it makes the pricing over here really weird, even when you initially turn it off. So make sure you enter your markup after you turn that off or you deactivate it. So go ahead and save, and there you go. Now if you want to add in something else, again, you can add in whatever else you want to add in. The floater frame is already available. So just the acrylic glass that's not matte, you can add that as well. But these are the only two I'm going to add for right now. So then after that, all you have to do is there's a create product up here, and you click on that. And just don't do anything. Let it work its magic. And save the product. And again, when it creates the product, you're going to have a whole mess of images that come along with it. And I'm going to go over how to get rid of some of those. For me, I'm probably going to get rid of almost all of them and then create my own custom images for the different products. Okay, so now it says success, and you can go to products, and there it is. Now, if you click on this, that will take you to the product page. And like I said, you've got a whole mess of images down here that's going to pop up based on the size that the potential buyer selects. So I don't need all those. You got your configuration down here. You got your variants down here. All your prices are already set. I'm not going to mess with any of that. The only thing that I'm going to do is let me see if I have an example of this now. Oh, and over here you have, in this sidebar here, you got your collections. This is going to go into landscapes, which my collections are already labeled. So I've created all this stuff. And then the keywords, or they call them tags, but the keywords are all here. So you can check those in. for whatever keywords you want to use, and then save. Whatever changes you make here, make sure you come to the top. It says discard and then save right here. And then save it. The status up here is already active. Let's see if I can blow this up a little bit. So active, publishing. There's different stores that I already have connected here. So there's that. Sales, that's going to pop up when you actually get some data on that. Vendor, that's just, I put the studio name. And then the template, I really don't mess with that at all because I don't want to break anything. But anyway, so I'm going to go to products, and there's a long list of stuff. The rest of this stuff that's in here, which is a lot, I'm going to have to delete the inventory and then pull all the inventory that I want from Whitewall, because with Shopify, I was managing the inventory myself. So now I'm not going to do that anymore. Whitewall is going to manage all the inventory, the fulfillment, all that stuff. So I have to wipe everything clean and do everything pretty much from scratch, which is going to take some time. But yeah, so for this example that I want to end with is clarify. Again, this is the description. I want to tweak this because it's supposed to be separated. I got the information all mushed together. Let's see if it stays separated when I press save. Okay, so I want it to stay like that. There you go. All right, so when I go reload, there it is, the information separated. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of all of these files because I don't like them. I'm going to keep the principle of it, which is having your work shown in an interior is really good. It's just not the repetitive thing like this. So I'm going to go to images and let me see how I can edit this. I don't think that's going to be the right page, no. Because if you just click on the image, there's no delete. I don't see a delete button. Resize, draw. You've got the name of the specific image, alt text, but that's not a delete button. So, okay. So there's all the check boxes. Let me just check everything and then uncheck the main one. And then say remove. There's a remove button here. And all those should go away. Now what that's going to do is see your variants down here. Now your variants don't have an image attached to it for that specific size. So like I said, I'm going to skip that part. And I'm going to add in my own image. So instead of having all of these, I'm going to drag in something else. Let me see if I can pull up this file. Go to marketing. And I think it's under this one. this looks right. Here it is. This is what I want to use. Okay, so this is the interior I want to use. Drag and drop. And once that's selected, just click on done. And there it is. Now when I go back to Shopify, reload, there's just two files. So you got the main file here, and then you've got this file here. Now, I'm kind of on the fence whether I want to add the text or keep the text here or just add the image without the text. I don't know. But anyway, this is going to be the room or the interior combined with the artwork. And I'm going to do that across the board with all of my work. And obviously that's going to take a while to finish. But the thing is that when you click on the sizes, this is not going to change, right? So what I'm thinking is for the photo print on its own without the matte acrylic glass, when they click on that, that's going to pop up one image, right? And then when they click on the matte acrylic glass, that's going to pop up a different image, but it'll just be a single image for every size that they want to select. So I can probably have 4 or 5 different products available, and then each product will have one image, and for all the different sizes it'll just be one image, just so that potential buyers can see an example of what they're actually getting. And I'm probably going to go to Canva and put together something like a collage of images or something so that they can see the actual product, the material, the back of the product, that sort of thing. If it's just paper, then they can see the well, I don't want to say the material, but the texture of the paper. I think that's important to see on the website. So I want to add that to the individual images or the individual products. So there's that. But yeah, this is pretty much how I want it to look. Now, the other advantage of Shopify is the Shop Pay is available so that you can purchase it in 4 installments, or you can select a monthly payment would be available. And that option is not available on Photodeck. It's not available here on my current website. So like I said, it's going to take a while to bring all of the details and whatnot back to Shopify. I want to say that most of the work is here already, but the details, the pricing, all of that has to be tweaked or swapped out. So now that I'm thinking about it, I'm probably going to have to swap everything out anyway. Yeah. Because everything is going to be linked to the Whitewall app. And then this down here is very important. It says category. Make sure you don't leave this as uncategorized. For me, this is where my work fits. So you would click on that. So make sure that's there, because that's also something that search engines, they read. They can read this type of information. So you want to have that selected on every single art piece that you have. Make sure you have that selected, and again, press save anytime you want to save any of your changes. So there's that. Now, my other question would be, how would I specify which image gets what, is what I'm thinking. Let me see if this is oh, here it is. Okay, so for the not the the acrylic glass, I would put this file on everything, right? So I would select the drop down menu and then put that file in there, and do that for everything acrylic for all sizes, so that it'll move, but it's slightly, but it stays the same. But yeah, that's where I would put them. So I would go ahead and save that. So again, when they select the matte acrylic glass, that's where it's gonna go. I really can't show you guys how it would look now because I've only got 2 images here, but you get the idea that if I had 4 or 5 products available here, you click on it, it'll go to that specific image for each size, and that's what'll show up. Yeah, so everything looks good. The only thing I don't know, like, why is this twice? Like, this is here and here. I don't know if that's something I need to change in the coding or what that is, why it's showing up twice. I don't know. I can ask them if I can fix that. I would have to email the support team for Shopify and see what I can do to fix it, because I would probably just have to go into the HTML code and get that fixed. So there's that one. Go back to products. I'll do the same thing with Red Sky. This is collections, where I've created all my collections already, as far as series and for the normal collection. So that's already done. But yeah, now it seems to be working the way I need it to. So I'm really happy with that. But like I said, it's gonna be a while. So I'll start with my favorites, and then I'll start with my favorites, and then I will start editing the older pieces, because all these pieces, like from 2013, 2009, these pieces are really dated. Not all of them, but there's quite a few. But there's just a lot of images that are that need to be updated. These, I guess the pricing is not going to change too much. And the pricing that's on the current website, like, everything's going to stay the same. It's just, like I said, transferring everything over to Shopify from Photodeck. So yeah, I'm really excited about all of it, really. Now, I guess before I go to links that go especially to Pinterest, that is going to take time to do, because I'm going to have to start over with everything. I'm going to have to start over. But if you guys have any questions about what I did or how I got to, a specific page or something, you guys can just let me know. But yeah, all of these are linked to the Photodeck website. Nothing's linked to Shopify anymore. With Shopify, everything is going to link automatically because Pinterest can actually sync to Shopify. Whitewall can sync to Shopify. Pinterest can also sync to Shopify. So it'll read all the information automatically and pull everything over, without me having to upload everything manually, which is definitely a time saver. So the only thing I'm going to upload manually to Pinterest is the marketing images, like this one here. Like stuff like this is probably going to have to come over manually, but it's not a lot. So yeah, that's definitely a time saver. And then I'm also going to be able to resubmit for my verified badge in Pinterest, which I lost when I shut down Shopify and moved to Photodeck. Now that I'm moving back, I'm going to have to go to the Business Hub and resync all of my information, because right now, I don't know how Pinterest is set up, but it can't read the coding for Photodeck. It just doesn't read it at all. So I'm gonna have to resubmit everything, go through the API conversions, all of that over again, just to sync everything back up, and just do all that over again. That's a whole different subject. That's a whole different subject. And West Cover is the same deal. This is a company that I'm working with. It's not linked anymore to the studio anymore because I'm not using Shopify. When I link everything back to Shopify, it's going to pick up all the information and just update it automatically. I don't have to manually come in and update the information. So yeah. Especially when you're doing collaborations with other companies, when they're also using Shopify as a web host, it's just so much easier for that collaboration to work. So yeah, thank God for that, because it's just tedious. And you can just go into Shopify and turn these on and off. Like if you want to add work to West Cover and then take some pieces away that aren't doing so well as far as sales, you can just click a checkbox and it goes on and off. And I can show you guys that really quick, which I think you guys saw that before. With publishing, it's under publishing. You click on manage and you would just click that box and there it is. And let me go ahead and click on this one to make sure it's there correctly. And that's it. You just click this box on and off to add it or to take it away from the West Cover platform. But just make sure, like when you initially start with setting up the terms for the collaboration. They'll let you know what does work or doesn't work as far as syncing the websites or the information from the websites. So there's that. Now this down here is new as far as category meta fields. This is new. So if you want buyers to look at, because this is going to be over 250 prints in the store. So if they want to see everything that's in blue, that has like the primary color is blue in your artwork, you would put that in the meta field, frame style, theme, all that goes in there. So buyers can basically find what they want in your inventory without having to look through every single thing. And the one thing that PhotoDeck did do better than Shopify is the keywords that are available down here. A lot of potential buyers, they just click on one of these and look at, what they want to see, So if they want to see everything that's in geometric art, they would click on that, and everything that's with that has that keyword, it comes up no matter where it is, under what category, under what series. So it just makes everything easier to find. So if I can figure out how to implement that onto the Shopify store, that'll be really good. A huge bonus. Product meta fields. Yeah, all of this is new. So I have to dig through here and figure out, they have a format type. Okay. Because some clients are just looking for a 1:1 ratio, something that's squared. And so if that's also an available keyword to look for, then they'll just click on that. Whatever, all the works that I have that are in the square ratio or format, that'll pop up, and it's just easier for them to find. So that's very nice. I like that. That was definitely not here last year. But yeah, and then finally, search engine listing. Make sure that this looks the way you want it to look. Because on the search engine, when people do searches, this is what's going to come up. The link, heading, or the title, description, and then there's the price right there, which is nice. So it's a lot of work on the back end, and it's going to take me, I want to say 2-3 weeks to get through the bulk of this. But ultimately, once it's done, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to micromanage the inventory or the shipping. The biggest thing is going to be returns, damaged product, exchanges if I want to do that. But just making sure that all of that is taken care of. Like, I have to do that manually. Because if a print is damaged, or product is damaged, print product is damaged, it comes back to me here, and I will have to make sure that the exchange is shipped out to the client through the base Whitewall website. So I have to take care of those things. But so far I haven't run into any issues like that. And the thing I do like about Whitewall as a photo lab is their packaging like how secure their packaging is. I have shipped stuff 3 and 4 times back and forth from New York, and the packaging holds up very well. So, and like the shipping companies, the couriers, it can be pretty rough with your packages. So it's very important that they do that. But yeah, you can. I don't know if you guys use Whitewall for your work, but they're really good. They they are they are really good. I think they won another award. Yeah, here it is. The TIPA World Award for 2025. Our Basel frame now also available. Okay. But yeah, they're worldwide, well known lab. They do a lot of great work. They hold or host a lot of events. I think they probably do some exhibitions of their own. So if I can get my work sold through them more often, then it just gives me more recognition. They did also come up with a photo book that's available, which I probably want to use when I am pitching my work face to face with clients or potential clients. So, yeah, this is all their 8 times voted world's best photo lab. So, yeah, I forgot how I ran across them or ran into them as far as a lab, but very, very good. Very good stuff. So yeah, like I said, when they click on a an item on the website or a specific product on here, I would like the actual product to show up. So for this one, I had this show up here. And this is the Fuji Flex acrylic print. So then potential buyers, they know, exactly what type of product they're getting. So for me, I'm thinking combine something like this with the photo, with the original photo, like have this and this together some type of way, right? And just like a simple presentation so that they know, okay, this is the product. Because how it used to be, I could only offer one product with a few different sizes available. But now I'm going to be able to have multiple products available in more sizes, available. And yeah, and I'm not going to have to manually handle the inventory, which is great, which is really good. And then the presentation of this premium theme from Shopify is really good. So yeah, I would say dig through the premium themes and just invest in your business, because Shopify does have quite a few decent free templates, but the premium themes are really, really good. Now again, you're talking $350-$400 per premium theme. So make sure that you really look at the demos, because they have demos of their themes. Make sure that you it's your favorite theme, by far. But yeah, these are the free ones down here. And then they've got, it says visit the theme store here. Let me see if I can. Okay, so they've got 13 free themes. And you can just click on one, try it just to see if you like it. And then you view the demo just to see what it looks like. And I mean, it's fine, There's nothing wrong with it. Totally free. Go through all of the pages, the product pages especially, and see what it looks like. Okay. So again, for free, nothing wrong with it. I just feel like the premium themes are obviously they're a step up from the free ones. And then if you want to see everything that's paid, there's 241. And again, just that little bit more on the presentation, I think goes a long way. You just have more looks, more options. You have one here that's $120. It's not bad. I don't know if you can filter these by cost in case you have a smaller budget. Like this is $400. It was a little bit less than that when I bought it, but there's different here we go. There's different color options over here, but it's $400. This one's $250. This is $280. Some of them have different color options available. So just look through everything, whether it's premium, paid template, or whether it's free. Just look at all your options that you have available between colors, font, all that type thing. Now, the other thing too that Photo Deck doesn't do that Shopify does is it's in sync with your mobile version. And I know this is not a Shopify commercial, but I'm just saying, when I'm here in Photo Deck, the website version and the mobile version for your phone or your tablet, it's not in sync. You have to edit the website or the desktop version and the mobile version separately, and that can get tricky depending on if you're changing the font, colors, anything. Sometimes the font can match and sometimes it can't because the desktop and the mobile versions are different. So that's annoying. So yeah, I did go to Photo Deck and ask them to see if they can sync it on their end just to make it easier for creators to just go in, make changes one time, and then everything is in sync, right? But yeah. I think that's all I have for right now. So yeah, I'm gonna be not gone. I'm gonna be busy for a while, but I do want to at least give you guys an update once a week to let you know my progress, what I'm working on, how far I've gotten, and it's going to take a little bit for me to get the back end of the website redone in terms of the website links, the URL. Everything has to move from Photo Deck to Shopify so that when you guys click on the links, you go to the right places. And that's just across the board. My social media profile links, like everything has to move over. So I'm going to be burning the midnight oil for a little bit, but I like where everything is. I really do. And like I said, as far as the marketing budget, I'm going to work on that in July. Right now, I'm still working through my personal finances, like I alluded to before, getting all the credit cards paid off, which I'm down to the last two at this point. So, like I said, official summertime rolls around, all of that'll be out the way, and then I will dive into how I want to market, creating videos for marketing, and then figuring out where to direct the funds so that I can market more effectively than I was before. But yeah, I think that's it. So again, any questions about anything that I went through in terms of how the Whitewall app works, how it links to your Shopify account and vice versa, where you actually have to upload the print files and how you access that. Any questions you have, just leave it in the comments, and I will also refer back to the initial video or the episode I posted in February, which goes more into the nitty gritty of how you set up your Whitewall account with the custom token that they give you to sync the two, Whitewall with Shopify. I went through all those steps in that episode, so I'm going to link it on the YouTube side in the description, and I can probably link it in the comments, like pin it as a comment as well, so you guys have access to that. But yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next week. Take care.